Behind them here, we wouldn't have seen the Russian casters, but the fans behind them are going absolutely bananas. So Envy starting on the T side. You might argue it's the favoured side. But look over towards A. There's already a super fast push here from Na'Vi. Seized and Guardian getting lots of information. Going to be a really fast flank if Envy aren't careful.
Yeah, Edward's there though to try to defend, and he's going to get completely destroyed there. I mean, quick frag, but that is going to be Kenny S able with that position to get 2 extra ones, meaning that now Envyus have a very nice position to work with. They can go either towards B or towards A from this position, and you can see Na'Vi are trying to do their best to just focus down those choke points, but they've not got a lot to work with at the moment. There's no grenades for them to use either to deter Envyus from busting through the choke points, and you can see Envyus just waiting. They're just using the patience, using the time on the clock, and a very interesting boost coming in here. MBK is actually going to run into Seized, and this engagement is going to be very important. Seized is, of course, very important here for Na'Vi. He's got to lock away MBK, and indeed, it looks like he might just be able to do that, but still, Na'Vi going to have to worry about that B hit that's coming now.
Indeed, Zeus is all alone. Zeus is now dead. The site's been taken. This is a disaster for Na'Vi. A very bad start indeed. Guardian and Seized, they've got most of their health intact. They can still do this. They need the headshot, though. Seized close, but no cigar for him. Guardian, the only man left now to try and smoke these 4 NV players, but don't fancy his chances. It's going to be a very difficult task indeed. And it seems he's resigned himself to try and get some exit frags, try and make a little bit of money as he heads towards the AWP in the future rounds. They're all going to charge him at the same time. Envy take the solid pistol. That's really awkward for Na'Vi. Guardian and Seized were halfway through their rotation when those frags came in towards drop. Then they started moving back towards the A site, but Envy stayed put, and then they didn't really know, Na'Vi, what to do. They ended up splitting up, 1 towards A, 1 towards B, 1 on the flank. So complete isolation, which just strengthened the numbers game for the Envy side. Very good start to the first half for them.
Yeah, and the 4 spy will come in now for Na'Vi. We'll see the SMGs coming out for Envyus as they focus on playing an anti-4 sky kind of strategy. And you'll see that making its way now down towards the A-long area. Now they need to use their grenades well to clear these corners. And quick peek from Seized there. Is it going to do any damage? No, Kenny S will deny Seized. And Flame is going to go for the trade, but it's not quite happening. Envyus taking that advantage, and Na'Vi can't quite get it back, but there goes Flamey's in a very forward position. Somehow Flamey gets another one. Kenny S going down finally, which actually gives Na'Vi an interesting position to play with. 2 players against 3. And let's not forget the powerful pistols that they hold, as well as some of the armor and the potential to maybe pick up a weapon. Is he happy is lurking? Will he actually find Edward? This is, oh dear. Did Edward hear that grenade? Looks like he's going to catch the rotation anyway. 5-7 is out, but it's not good enough to deal with MBK. And it looks like Envyus will finish on the B-bomb site. Although MBK will make quick work of the last player. So pretty standard stuff there. I mean, I think Na'Vi had a good prediction as to the play that Envyus were going to go for on the anti-4 spy.
Indeed, but at the very beginning of that, you have to give credit to Apex on long, who baited the grenades of Na'Vi by just simply firing 1 bullet at the wall there, which gave a clue as to what might have been going on. So little play there, which saved them a lot of damage. So going to be the second anti-eco here for Envy, anti-eco, anti-4 spy. Just 1 AK onto Kiyoshima. The rest of them going to have the moving accuracy of their various weapons. And he's going to be the point man. Crossfire, though, for the Na'Vi will be a good start for them, but Flamey's going to go down. Guardian picking up a weapon, and we'll see if Na'Vi change their position. Envy rushing towards long now, heading towards the side, but pretty much the entire Na'Vi side is here. And we've got heavily tagged players on Envy. Apex goes down. More trades coming in. There's still 2 players alive for Na'Vi, however. Bomb does get planted. Seized Edward have no Kevlar, but they've got dangerous weapons. There goes NBK as well. The AK is still in play here for Kiyoshima. He's going to be really important going forward. Kenny's only got 23 HP and a Tech 9.
Yeah, this is a little bit awkward. But that bomb is ticking away, of course. That's going to force the CTs to move. And that's going to give a nice advantage here into these engagements. Kiyoshima, what on earth was that? Edward manages to find the frag somehow, giving himself a 1 versus 1 against an incredibly low Kenny S. But somehow Kenny S with 6 HP doesn't get even scratched by that last player, and he'll save the round for the French side.
That UMP ran out of bullets at the wrong time there. Edward going for the CZ, but the aim punch was too much. So Envy survive a difficult test there, an expensive round. But again, they only had 1 AK in play, so that could have cost them a lot more than it actually did. You see them now, the AWP with Kenny. 4 AKs for the rest of the team. No AWP yet for Guardian, who's going to be rocking the M4 for the time being. So we've got a 3-man long A-hold here for Na'Vi, with potential to rotate towards the mid or underpass area, whatever you want to call it. 2 towards B, and nobody concentrating on the drop zone at the moment. Could be smoked. We'll have to see. Envy with passive start towards A. Just seeing if there's any aggression from Na'Vi, just trying to wait for these smokes to dissipate, etc.
Yeah, so now it's time to start making a bit of a foray, or at least the idea was there, but the re-smoke placed in a timely fashion will slow Envyus. Now will they try to force the issue? There is still a lot of time to play with. Another smoke down by the CT side to delay Envyus and frustrate them yet further, as we might start to see now with these grenades. Oh no, Caesar's burning alive! He couldn't get out of the corner in time. Apex with that frag, and in comes the push. Flamey's going to rejoin his comrade, and they might not suspect, Envyus, that there are 2 players in danger. And indeed, it's not even going to matter. Apex taking down Flamey on the entry. Guardian trying to get the refrag, and he just barely manages to do so, but takes critical damage. His positioning is not too good either. But it does look like Envyus will halt the effort towards A. Entry up onto the B bomb site, thanks to Edward, rather to Kiyoshima taking down Edward, and the plant will be underway.
Edward there was holding the rotation because the bomb was not in a position where Na'Vi could secure it without losing too many players. So here we are, Envy moving into the B bomb site now, but Zeus is in position to get some work done. Kenyas just unscoping at the wrong time. They know where he is now. Can Envy get into a trade position? Down goes Kenyas. The bomb's not planted. There are 10 seconds left. They've got to find the bomb plant here. The bomb is not even picked up yet. 2 seconds left, and they're going to win. Oh, wow. They got it just in time. That's unbelievable. But it's Guardian now, 11 HP versus Kishima and Happy. There's a chance for him if he can find Kishima first without getting traded. Kishima with only 6 points of life, and he's going to go past Happy, it seems. The angle hasn't paid off for Happy there, and Kishima gets taken down in isolation. There's no kit for Guardian. He does have the angle on the bomb, though. Happy can't stop it from there, but 10 seconds is a very long time. Happy getting dinked, but he's still alive. There's an AWP. Guardian, he's not going to scope for it, though. Trying to just finish off Happy with a pistol. Happy going to the well many times, but not too many times. Guardian's going to opt to save the AWP here. Again, the lack of kit coming into play here, and Envy survive again by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, really tight round there. I guess you guys can probably hear that over the microphones. The arena here tends to explode.
I thought I was dying,
as
Dan.
as the bomb goes off. Very loud indeed.
It was all over.
And so the 4-0 is with us, but if you look at the economy right now, of course, Envyus, despite being 4 rounds up, they've received a lot of damage. So Na'Vi, you know, definitely doing a very good job, and this is a potentially winnable round. It is an AWP in the hands of Guardian. Now let's see what he can do with it. There's a lot of pressure here towards the B plateau. Guardian's going to have to do some Guardian magic.
I wonder if Envy are looking for a fast breach of one of the sites here to try and avoid that AWP, but it's really hard to avoid the AWP of Guardian. You saw those entry stats versus Kenyas earlier on. That's a great start by him. Envy opting to continue the pressure here. That's a rare miss from Guardian, right in the middle of his reticle, and he could get taken down here, but it's going to be blind and take down Kishima regardless. 2 players above him on the platform, but the entire team is here. We've got Molotovs coming in now. NBK goes down, Kenyas goes down. How are they winning this? Flaming with 2 big frags. Guardian gets his 3rd of the round. Only losing 1 player means they can pick up a lot of weapons in this round as well, which is really important for the CT economy.
I'm telling you, man, whenever you have an AWP in the hands of Guardian, anything is possible. And that's exactly what we saw Envyus, you know, essentially with the... I mean, normally the way it works is if you give a chance to a player, then, you know, depending on their skill, they can get, you know, so much out of it. Guardian's always able to get a ridiculous amount.
They've got 3 AKs, Dan. And there we go, they've won 1 round and Envy are on the eco because of all the damage that Na'Vi did in the previous rounds.
We'll have to see whether Envyus can get a similar result as Na'Vi did previously, although of course they don't have an AWP. But Envyus pretty notorious for making insane use of these pistols. And they've got a few deagles which can work quite well at range if you manage to get that one shot to the head. Guardian get tagged in the side there. A little bit fortunate not to actually just get dinked and dead, no. But it's Guardian once again. He'll finally be eliminated by Kenyas at range, but it's all too late. The AWP will be picked up. The refrags have been made, and Na'Vi look pretty good for a clean round here, except the single loss of Guardian, which is definitely okay because Envyus don't have any money.
The sweetie man's coming, and he's given Envy a sugar overdose. Anybody not hospitalized is Happy, and he's soon to be dispatched of as well. It's great momentum for Na'Vi. Again, the crowd is fiercely by their side as well. So we'll see how many CT rounds they can accrue in this first half of this best of 3. Cobble was the pick of Envy, and again, NBK alluded to some facts there that Na'Vi aren't going to be prepared for what Envy have because they have a different style now. Because NBK is the in-game leader, we have seen a different approach from them so far in this match. So 2 rounds behind are the Na'Vi side. AWP continuing on to Guardian, but Kenyes is going to be reduced to Detect 9 because he wants that AWP as soon as possible. Again, the Envy side concentrating towards A. We might see a faster round from them now. Apex standing to the drop zone, looking behind him. Still managing to find a frag, completely blind, but he's still alive. He's got support as well. There's going to be a lot of trades here, but going the way of Envy. Only 2 plays left for Na'Vi, but one of them is Guardian. C's getting the frag onto Apex. Man advantage for the T's. Soon disappears. Bomb gets planted. Again, and Kenyes has picked up an AK now, but C's is not going to win the duel there, so it's Guardian versus 2.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation once again. It is, well, I mean, honestly, with the smokes down, even if you're Guardian, there's no way really through those. Very highly disadvantageous approach, but they will dissipate. And there's not any time left. He's just going to try to get the damage in here instead. And he'll have to back away, and he'll be caught by Kenyes. So it was a doomed situation that Guardian was in.
I think he wanted to go back for the AWP there. But I was watching because if Kenny had picked it up at that point, then his AK dropping would have told Guardian where he was. Unfortunately, he did well. Smartly for Kenny, he didn't do that, so Guardian goes back for the AWP and gets wrecked by Kenyes, who will take it in kind.
So things are swinging back now for the Na'Vi's side, as they have to now deal with this next obstacle, which is the buy of Envyus. And once again, they're putting a lot of players towards the B side of the map. Drop zone and the plateau. They've got the AWP on Kenyes, and they are looking like they want to go with a fast round, but like all the other rounds, the pre-nades are stellar from Na'Vi. Lots of damage, and so far they are keeping them on the plateau. Envyus can't quite get out of these choke points. Na'Vi are handling this so incredibly well, but even so, Envyus coming up with the frags, hitting the shots, but in comes Guardian once again.
Happy with that massive flashbang there. And he's going to get a kill onto Zeus, leaving Guardian alone once more. Guardian finishing off with the PT-50. NBK versus Guardian, AWP versus AWP, and NBK is going to take it. All that scout practice paying off there for the Frenchman.
Yeah, they seem to, so far, early on in this match, they are perhaps trying to condition Na'Vi into expecting a lot of pressure towards the B-bomb site. We're seeing a lot of rounds where Envyus are quite heavily committed there. And there's lots of ways to approach that kind of a strategy. You can start with the default and create some obscurity, but for some reason Envyus is deciding just to completely commit and telegraph the B plays.
You can see some frustration there on the face of Flame. He's got his hand on the side of his face. That's not good. This is the first game of a best of 3. He might be having some tough times now. 6-2, 2-6 down, sorry, versus Envy on the eco here. Going to lose more rounds, but it's too early to get emotional. Got to keep your head in the game. We'll see if he improves with momentum. Happy taking some damage there, but done the important thing of getting the frag. You can see Na'Vi slowly moving away from B, including a flank from C's, towards the A site, where Guardian's currently alone. Got a P250 though. He's got those close quarters engagements, but if he shoulder peeks here, Kenny might finish him off. Again, he wants those engagements to be as close as possible so he can get that one tap with the P250.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see how the recovery works for Na'Vi from this position, because kind of the worst thing happened and they were not able to stabilize. But look at this, actually sees as a sneaky position, not discovered, but might be a little bit too slow now. Envious players should be looking behind themselves, but nobody's doing it. Kyoshima has no idea what's happening and what is hitting him, and now Seized has got himself an AK-47. He's looking for the next player. There it is, MBK. Aim punch will ruin Seized and his opportunity for that frag. And Kenyes with a very savage flick to eliminate the remainder of Na'Vi and Edwards. And decent damage considering what was held by Na'Vi, but they really need to get back into this one now.
I think C's reaction was a bit slow there. I thought he was going to get the headshot because his crosshair was on the player for a little while, but there we go. It will be another round for Envy. See what the buy is of the CT side. Indeed, Guardian's going to be back on the AWP. Has armor as well, which is always a bonus. That spray perfectly aimed at Seized. He was unfortunate not to get headshot there. He's got Happy looking for a boost from the CTs. You can do that stack on top of these stairs as well. And again, these CTs who are jumping in that position, but obviously you are susceptible to nades at the beginning of the round, which which he will also want to avoid. I think he's about to hot flash and peek there. Guardian gets one, instantly traded by Apex. Very nice team play there by Envy, and that will be an advantage for them because this is a map where even with 5 players, the CTs are very stretched. So now they're going to have to sacrifice vision of one area.
Yeah, this rotation is something that also Envyus will understand. They know, okay, we've got a kill. We know we have a predetermined idea of what the response will be for the CT side. So they've let them set up, and now they go for the push with that knowledge. And you can see the very important connector take coming in, but it's not going to work out. Zeus finds the frag onto Kiyoshima. Happy's still alive there, though, and Zeus is quite aware that this area is highly compromised and there could be an additional player here. And Happy can provide some great support. He can actually lock away the remaining 2 players as the entries come onto the A-bomb site. There is one from Happy, just one player left to deal with, and that's Edward, and Happy's going to get it done from that window. Very nicely put together round there in the end from Envyus after going up 1 man.
The pick of Envy is working out so far. This is a huge lead. Again, this is a map where it's generally considered that the T side is quite favoured. But Na'Vi only have 2 rounds on the board now. They're going to need 4 to 5 at the very least if they want to have a realistic chance of mounting an offense on their T side. So this is not very good for them right now. I'm not sure if there's a pause here, actually. We will see. I think we would normally be in a game by now, so I'm assuming there's a tactical pause by Na'Vi. I can see Zeus' hand raised, having a chat with Guardian in the booth. I'm sure StarX will be barking orders as well.
And one thing to note as well about the very early aggression, which seemed to be repeated on the B-bomb site, was actually the fact that if you keep doing that, you're actually encouraging the CT side to waste a few more pre-nades than they'd otherwise want to waste. And the investment, of course, is some aggressive rounds towards B, but that can be quite successful in of itself. So, we've seen Na'Vi actually throwing a lot of their grenades towards that area at the start of the map, way more than they want to, and that's going to be a bit of a leak going into the rounds where they have a pretty poor economy, which is basically every round at this point with the position that they're in. So, Envyus, eking out lots of little edges here and there, and but I think it was Yanko that said it on the desk. That for him it comes down to the individual skill. If Envyus are on point individually, he feels like that's just too much for Na'Vi to handle, and I think we're starting to see some glimpses of that as well.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest issues for Na'Vi is that even if Envy are in a bit of a tight spot, especially on the T side, they're just so good at getting themselves out of it just because they're such good aimers that's an additional factor that you might not have with other teams that can cause massive problems as well. We saw a similar thing from Fnatic when they were playing on Cash earlier on, with Crims getting multiple kills in rounds, swinging things back into Fnatic's favour repeatedly. We see the same kind of thing from Envy, perhaps more so with them. So I think we're getting back into the game shortly, and we'll see what Na'Vi choose to do, how they can plug the holes in the leaking ship before they sink on this first map.
It's so annoying on this map to deal with a lot of strategies. It's such a hard map, like you pointed out. It's a map where it feels like you kind of want to have 6 players to actually defend this, on the CT side. That's kind of how stretched you tend to feel, and we saw that it could be very worthwhile to put that investment at risk in getting that first player, even if it's a 1-for-1 trade as a T side, because then the CTs have very hard decisions to make. But back into this one now, you can see Na'Vi's state of affairs. They've got sort of a quasi buy going on, more or less, just buying down to $2,000 or so around that region. But Envyus looking for the anti-eco play straight into the B-bomb site.
KNES looked away from A-long just as the CT started emerging, but it is a hell of a long rotation towards the other side of the map. Are they going to get there remotely in time? Guardian's currently miles away as this push starts. Na'Vi not going to give the frags to Envy. They want them to come in as close as possible to try and use the numbers game. And there it is. Zeus taking one down. Edward with another. Edward getting traded by Happy. But now he's got the flank coming in from Guardian as well, taking down KNES on main. They've still only got pistols seized with Kevlar, but that's all that's going on here. Guardian getting smoked off and flashed. They don't want him to get anywhere near that orb.
This is a little bit weird, actually. Guardian's going to be able to pick up that AWP, and this spells trouble for the French side. There's the flick. The bomb hits the ground now, as it's just Happy left. He's moving around the boulder, looking for an engagement, but sees will attack at the perfect timing through the smoke. What a round there from Na'Vi, and they will spring right back into this, and with a good economy as well, because that was essentially more or less a save round for them.
That's a massive round for them. They couldn't afford really to lose many more rounds, if any more rounds. So to pick up a round on an eco is massive for them. Again, they get an AWP for free. Just the timing there towards long. If Kenny S holds for like half a second longer, then he probably kills Guardian there, and who knows how the round goes. But such is the nature of the beast. Flamey going for an auto sniper. We have seen this from him on Mirage as well on the CT side. But Edwards coming in blind. As it's a fast play from Envy, trying to break the buy of Na'Vi. Is it going to pay off? It looks like it is. And NBK and Apex with 2 huge frags. And Na'Vi have been completely annihilated. This is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to them, almost literally.
And Envyus made Na'Vi look really bad there, but it's basically because their pace was so fast, and Na'Vi didn't quite... I mean, again, they cut a corner when it comes to the positional play, so that the positioning that they wanted versus the spawn of the terrorist side. It took them too long to get into position. You get caught in, moving to the spot you want to be defending from. And then as soon as one guy goes down on that B-bomb site, it's just hellish for the rest of the players on the defense. And look at the swing in value we're going to see, considering that Envy didn't actually have a proper full buy. But we'll have Guardian doing a little bit of extra damage here in the end, which is good.
You can see Apex picks up the auto sniper. I'm always a bit cautious about players picking up autos from CTs on the T side, because normally they're infinitely more useful for the CT players. And bearing in mind also that the NV side have just reset the economy of the CTs who just won a round. They're more likely to be playing close quarters engagements with pistols and the like. So the auto sniper is not going to be useful in that sense. So it may come back to bite them in the behind, although there are only a few rounds left in the half. And here we go, Seasoned Guardian with 2 fast frags. If they pick up that auto sniper later on, that could be a massive problem. Apex, so with the CZ, going to get off to a good start, and the numbers of the CTs are now thinning out very quickly.
Guardian's got to kill everybody. Here he goes. Nice shot. Apex is down. He's actually got himself a couple kills, so now Guardian can actually work from this position as Kiyoshima makes his way up the stairs. He knows where Guardian is. Guardian does really need some support here, some distraction. He gets the shot somehow. Kiyoshima goes down as well. And now Guardian can actually have the space to move forwards and take a much better position. And it's just Happy who's left, and he's completely screwed here. What on earth can he possibly do? Guardian
could even go into the tower for the ultimate troll here, but Happy's caught him in the corner, and Edwards quite far away, but Guardian needs no one else.
That's why he's the best AWPer in the world.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. Apex got to kill the CZ, but really, if you know your teammate are going to be on an eco, your opposition are going to be on the eco in that round. I don't know that picking up an auto sniper, even if it's on the floor, is the best decision, because it removes your versatility in that situation. And you can see Guardian saw the bomb go down here. He probably saw the bomb there. Oh yeah, you can see it flashing.
And part of the reason as well that Guardian's so good is because it's his consistency, but also the fact that he always delivers in clutches, almost always. He has the highest consistency in clutches of all the AWPers, and that is so remarkable considering how strong the weapon is.
Yeah, he rarely overextends as well. He's always very well positioned.
Okay, so we're going to have a play from Envyus into the drop zone with pretty much everyone. The bomb's being left behind. Zeus decides to jump in. It's a very poor timing to do so. Now Zeus has to go back. He's got to defend this choke point. He's spraying wildly, but he can't quite connect the shots he needs to. Happy is going to be able to pick up a frag as well. But in comes Flamey for the double to even the situation, leaving once again Guardian 1 versus 2 in a clutch. Would you have it any other way?
Yeah, it's Envy's best friend, Guardian, looking to give them some more cuddles, some candy, and some Belgian chocolates. See if Envy can position themselves to cover. There are, 3 places he can come from? There are 2 of them, and they need to try and get themselves in a crossfire or trade situation. Not sure if they would have heard Guardian there. He's got a smoke and a defuse kit, but it looks like he's going to look for a rotator before he goes in for the defuse. Oh, he just looks the wrong way when he's about to see NBK, and NBK wrecks him for it.
One thing to think about is Guardian has 20 kills. The closest on his team is 9, and the spread is between 5 and 9. Like the rest of the teammates aren't really fragging that much. Of course, Guardian is getting a huge chunk of the kills, but it's always from a hugely disadvantageous position, meaning that, generally speaking, Na'Vi's defense is not working. Guardian's just being godlike. Guardian's being Guardian. So, I mean, Na'Vi almost lucky to have as many rounds as they do right now.
Their last chance to get one. Did say they need at the very least 4 rounds on their CT side, which they've achieved that, so they get a gold star for that, but most of the plaque is missing. They need to try and attain the rest in the next half, but can they take this one? No one down for anybody just yet. Bomb left in a passive position. 2 towards B, looking for the, I thought it was going to be the stack, but indeed will be the boost, although Flamey can't really cross to the box. He's going to do it anyway. There's only one flashbang on the entire team, and that's such an easy place to go for the flash. Edward and Flamey just walking down, getting 2 huge frags. Envy are going to have to move really quickly now because they know they're going to be on the flank. But down goes Apex again. 2 versus 5. Can they do it?
Yeah, this is actually somehow working out for Na'Vi. We have MBK and Kenny S playing together now. Moving forwards, Kenny S is very, very close. Gets the shot onto Guardian. Now he can toss the smoke to try to cover the approach onto the bomb site and get a plant, but in comes seized. Denied by MBK. Now 2 versus 2 situation, making that a 2 versus 1. Kenny S finds the head of Flamey, leaving everything on the shoulders of Edward. But that bomb does need to be planted, and that's what's going to happen. And Edward actually has potentially a very strong window of attack here. He'll find the frag, and the bomb goes down. Kenny S with 10 HP now needs to salvage this situation with 30 seconds left on the clock, and he does not know where Edward is. This is going to take a pretty godlike play from Kenny S. A very, very quick snap. Edward looks for the peak, and there's a single bullet. That's all that's required. 5-10. Na'Vi somehow, all the rounds that Na'Vi got, it feels like they were a gift from the heavens, because from a strategic sense, their game plan wasn't working.
I don't know how many 2v5s we have seen won in this tournament already. I thought that was going to be another one, but it wasn't to be in the end. So Na'Vi finish with a reasonable score here on the CT side to give themselves opportunity in the second half, but first comes the pistol. But I have to say, Envy's reactive play to each round that was won by Na'Vi was really cool there, the way they just basically rush them. Okay, let's break them immediately. Let's not give them any chance to breathe. Let's be standing on their chests, pushing their lungs down.
Yeah, that was a really big moment, you know, with the auto sniper that was picked up by Apex. I think it was Apex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To play that, and people do like to play that auto sniper. It's very strong because you can get all the shots through the smokes and so on and so forth. It's quite good at versus rushes. But yeah, so that could have been a pivotal moment for Na'Vi, but never mind, we reorient to the pistol, and a quick boost from Happy will yield a frag, but he's actually still there. And he gets another kill. What is this?
Well, Zeus has an opportunity to do, wow, what a time to switch a weapon and still get the frag. Back to a 3 versus 3. The bomb is still in the control of the T, so we're rotating away from the B bomb site now, but really they don't have the ultimate read as to where Na'Vi are going because they have not seen the bomb. That's going to put Kiyashima back towards the B site. So just like we saw in the other CT half, we're going to have 3 CTs left, spread out across the map, unable to trade. Although you might argue that these are the stronger aimers. Edward is still alive though. You know how dangerous he can be on a pistol round. He's the nade man for the team here. Flashbang can go over the wall here. Very hard to deal with if you're a CT. You can see he's setting up for it. This smoke's probably going to go towards the door position, which is quite a big choke point. Kishima spotted players now. Flashbang still hasn't got in yet. Sees with a very patient tap. MBK behind the rocks, got a lot of work to do here, but he's going to get wrecked as well. After a good start, it's down to Happy versus 3.
This is exactly what Na'Vi needed. Exactly what they needed. Happy has so much work to do, and to get through the choke points is hard enough as it is. Then he has to find 3 players, and but he has almost no bullets left on his gun as well. He's got 15 bullets left. So he's going to have to be very, very precise. And Na'Vi, they should never, ever, ever lose a round like this. It would be a massive misplay for that to happen. And Happy won't even get any money. The bomb will explode, as perhaps as you might be able to hear in the arena.
My light flashed before my eyes, Dan.
It's pretty scary being so up close. It reminds me of the setup at Cluj de Poker, where they actually had the pyrotechnics as well, and that was something. That was something, all right.
Indeed, and this is also another grandiose stage. So Na'Vi off to a good start, the right foot forward on their T half. Now comes the anti-eco. Envy, arguably the most notorious force buy team in the game. We saw Na'Vi win a number of rounds in their first half with limited utility, but Envy are the masters of that. Yeah, Envy were born in the darkness, Dan.
Look where they all are as well. Quick peek from Apex, and it is being slaughtered here by Na'Vi. Get a couple frags coming in. So far, so good for Na'Vi. The player's quite low, and a 1 versus 1 for Happy is going to go his way, and that's actually Zuzu's very, very low, so now all of a sudden things get a little bit precarious, but it's all going to be focused on Kiyoshima here. If he's able to stop the bomb...
Look at the HP.
Oh, they're actually going to go back now.
Flamey and Zeus have 5 HP each. This is a very precarious situation, and that's a good start there for Kiyoshima. Traded, though, leaving Happy alone. He's got a lot of bullets in that Galil. And Zeus only has 5 HP. This Molotov could kill him. The timing is unreal! Not to be. Sad end to a story there.
Well, I mean, they got 3 kills, so that's pretty good. I think that's an acceptable amount of damage. And that's why Envyus is so dangerous, because they can always exert their skill with every single weapon and just keep the pressure on. And it's something that most teams can't do efficiently, because they just don't have the level of skill across all 5 players that Envyus do. So we're probably going to see more and more of this kind of stuff from them. And indeed, look at the buy that they've got going. In fact, instead of saving like most teams would, they are forcing it up again. They have nades, they've got pistols, and they've got the Mag 7. Oh, but the grenades are perfect.
So will these Mag 10s be if they find the right angles? Happy almost gets a 2-man, but he won't get much. Only C's going down. Great anti-eco for Na'Vi. Building bank is Flamey with the Mag 10. The crowd are really enjoying this. Kenya's left alone on A with a 5-7 and no helmet. And there's a lot of places for him to hide. And Na'Vi are hunting at present. They have a few places to clear out before they go towards the bomb site, but they will want to exterminate Dan, like rat catchers laying traps.
Yeah, I mean, I really like, actually really like Envyus' idea behind going for the force buy. Again, you know, they are a team that are quite efficient with it compared to everyone else, but it's the idea that you want to kind of crush the enemy's economy immediately so that you can actually get the space to build an economy. Because if you get that reset in, you get a situation where the other team kind of has to do a double eco or like a force buy and an eco. So it's 2 rounds which you should be able to win pretty clean. And that's what your CT side needs. We already saw how much Na'Vi was struggling by not having the right weapons or grenades to deal with the offense. That's a really big deal on this map on the CT side. As mentioned, it's quite a T-sided map, so Envyus really want to start strong. Maybe Kenny's can get some more damage in here. Will very much help, but he will be eliminated in the end. And Na'Vi will move forwards. They're 2 rounds away from tying things up. They're looking a lot better now, but the true test is yet to come.
That is the biggest lance I've ever seen in my life. I think it's a lance. If it's not a lance, send me a tweet. I love a bit of Mac 10 play, Dan. I am Mac 10. Na'Vi closing the gap now. Let's see what the state of Envy's economy is. It is in tatters. It's got holes all over it. It smells weird, and it needs a change. They'll have to wait. So pistols have been purchased by the Envy side. The Mac 10s are gone for Na'Vi, going for the full buy, full AKs, full nades. Guardian, of course, with the big green gun. Passive start for Na'Vi, looking for any potential aggression from Envy, who have pretty much stacked the B bomb site here, with players in positions for quick rotations between a drop and the plateau, with Happy just around the corner. Always around the corner is Happy.
Yeah, he is, and looks like Na'Vi making the correct guess here. They've moved up a lot of positioning on A-long, and in doing so, they've realized, all right, A site's for the taking. The stack has been spotted more or less by Seized, and Envyus can't really get anything done here. And you can see that they had to settle on the full save, more or less. So money-wise, Envyus will have a buy next round, but the more important thing is that Na'Vi gets some more stability, and they get a situation where they can afford to lose players, and maybe even afford to lose a round, but still be able to get the pressure onto Envyus.
Envy having 1 AK is, even 1 AK I think is not a good sign for Na'Vi. Although trying to hunt down 3 players across 2/3 of the map is a little bit awkward. But again, Envy, they're the stronger clutch aimers, I would say, between these 2 teams. We saw it in the first half, and that AK may make a difference. We'll have to pay attention to how it comes into play in the next half. Good old tower.
Yeah, all the memories I have of that position. I mean, it's so useless. People used to just sit there as scouts in Publix in the old 1.1 to 1.6 days.
I definitely, Dan.
I think we all did that.
Did that.
I think we all did that. If you say you didn't do that and you played Counter-Strike, you are lying. You are a liar.
You might be right, Dan. So the gap is continuing to close, and there may be a big advantage in the winner of this round. Bomb starting to go towards A. Let's see where Guardian and Kenny S are. Bit of spray coming in through the door. So Apex getting a taste of Envy's own medicine that they were delivering to Seized in that very same position. See Guardian looking for a pick there. And Zeus is going to just creep through the smoke. I'm not sure if he was spotted there, but there should be some sound cues coming the way of the Envy side. You can see Kenya's repositioning, not wanting to get traded with the AWP. He's going to smoke off the position. So they know that they've conceded this area for the time being. Let's see how the CTs react.
Yeah, big push coming in, slowly but surely. They've got the Lurker, have Na'Vi and Seized by drop. If things go poorly, they can use Seized to try to clear things ahead of time. Or if they don't go poorly, then he can get himself some kills on the rotating players. But he's actually going back to his teammates here, and we will get an entry frag from Guardian towards the A-long area, but he's getting shot from the side there. What is happening for Guardian? He's actually going to go down to 12 HP, but he gets saved, so he will get the frag. And Happy's straight through the double doors. He will go down, not much support for him. And now the choke points are locked away tidily by the smokes and otherwise, other utility rather, for the Na'Vi side. So nicely constructed round, got the entry frag, and they just were able to make the shots count. So pretty simple, but simple seems to be working.
Yeah, when that door is smoked off, I mean, that is a massive, massive choke point, even trying to go through it without a smoke. So it's pretty much round over in this situation. The Na'Vi will be happy for it to end here, looking at how tagged their players are. Guardian is so worth watching Guardian's POVs because the way he uses the map and the way he makes decisions based on his judgment of where other AWPers are, for example, or riflers, is just amazing to watch. Like, you can see him using the crack in the wall there to try and give himself as much vision as possible with as little risk as possible.
James,
Dan,
I think a bit weak came out. I was very afraid there. That was very surprising. I still get surprised.
Production will need a cup for that.
Every time that explodes, I jump a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not used to it because it's not in time with the with it on the screen, so it's like
zoned into the game and says, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah, it's shaking our commentary booth. But here we go, 10-10 now. Pair of 10s, poker time. Buy for both teams, full buys for Envy, all the nades, everything. So that's going to be a plus. We're going to see another potentially catastrophic round for one of these teams.
You can see position. Oh, look at this smoke. This is very sneaky stuff, but these kinds of tricks is something that Envyus would be very, very aware of. And Edward is not going to be able to find anything just yet. Again, very tight positioning from Envyus, which is very nice to see. But look at this. Guardian wants this pick so badly. He wants to get the shot off. If he fires, if he pulls the trigger, it's Guardian. It's like he's going to get the kill, but Kiyoshima with the perfect timing thanks to the flash bang of a teammate. And that's going to be Envyus with the first frag. So now Na'Vi've lost their picking player in Guardian. So with everybody in position towards the B plateau, everyone's going to pick up the AWP and try to continue where Guardian left off.
Na'Vi could go for a bit of an execute towards the site. They've got the smokes, they've got the molotovs for tree position, etc. However, they only have one flashbang. And this is a site where it's just great to spam flashbangs over the high wall. But when you've only got one, that might be quite difficult, judging on the positions that are being held here by the NV players. Man advantage for them at the moment, as NBK is the only one to get lost. Got a bit of a split coming in now from the players, but Kishima is going to be covered by Happy, who's now going to reveal himself and take down Flamey. This is a round that NV have to win. Zeus putting in more damage. Still alive, though. There's only 2 plays left here for NV, and there's only 20 seconds on the clock for Zeus to do it. I thought he might have burned himself to death there with his positioning, but Kishima will put him out of his misery. I think Zeus had about 7k at the beginning of that round, so we should see another buy coming in for the Na'Vi team. So there's more pressure to be had. Important to note that that's an important round for Envy. If they lost that round, their money would have been in ruins, but they only survived with 2 players, which means that if Na'Vi can get a full buy here, they can keep up the pressure on the CT economy. And if they win this round, then who knows what happens.
Yes, this match has really come to a, well, it's drawn to a close as far as the deficit goes for both sides. We really have a game on our hands. We've got AWPs on our hands as well. Look at the pick attempts here from Guardian, just using the boulders to try to get some angles. But what is this great grenade play coming in from Na'Vi? Good timing, good positioning on it, and that's going to just eliminate MBK almost for free. Very small cost for the life of MBK in this round, as Na'Vi have now the advantage on the men, which means that they can scrap together a play based on this knowledge. But in comes the push into the middle. Envyus trying to hold on, but again, Na'Vi 1 step ahead.
Yeah, great trade fragging there. Edward taking down Apex in isolation. He just could not get away from the Na'Vi players, 4 versus 2. And Envy know what this means, which is why they are not leaving the B bomb site right now. We will see shortly, hopefully, how much money is on the CT side. You can see them just saving for dear life. So you can see, look, Kishima with $150 in the bank, happy with 1,700. Curious as to what decision they will make in the following rounds. Na'Vi will be 5 rounds away from map 1. So do they force around these 2 weapons if they can save them? We will have to see in a few extra seconds, an extra 5 seconds in fact. Dan, I fear we've got to brace ourselves for another explosion.
Oh yes, good call. Yeah, I mean, it's good that you said it because it does repeatedly catch me off guard somehow. I guess I'm not used to that level of explosion. But
what level of explosion are you used to then?
I'm not used to these levels of explosions. But yeah, this situation is interesting actually because it very much seems, if you look again at the CT side of Na'Vi and now the CT side of Envyus, that teams these days still struggle to find the proper solutions.
What are these guys doing? Seriously.
The proper solutions to actually get a consistent way to win rounds on the CT side. Brace yourselves.
Where's the explosion?
Oh, did it not?
There must be a big red button somewhere and someone's fallen asleep, Dan. It's the only explanation. 11-11. I forgot what the poker nickname for a pair of 10s was.
Anyway, just to finish my point quickly, so the idea here is that it's all about the T side and having a really, really sick T side, being able to get the picks, play the default strategies, be able to coordinate very well, and just hold on the CT side. Force, of course, is Envyus. Would you expect any less?
So they've managed to eke out a 3rd weapon in the FAMAS. And we've got very aggressive nades coming in. They're looking to try and balance things out with their lack of weaponry, but Guardian has other ideas. Edward is just biding his time, admiring the walls there in case trades are required. Has no reason to reveal his position. And now everything slows down for the remaining NV players. What do they do now? The AWP is still in play. They've lost the M4. Perhaps NBK can pick it up later if Na'Vi go towards the A site and they can rotate in towards B and try and save to live to fight another day. If they get eliminated here, then Na'Vi may be too close to that magical 16th round for comfort.
Yeah, this is good by Envyus, just like going back towards B, just holding together. Na'Vi, we nice to see their money at some point to get a real check on how much they can actually invest into taking down these weapons, because obviously if their money's very, very good, with the kind of economy that Envyus are facing, the value for them to actually kill 2 players is massive, because that will completely cripple Envyus' chances to win the next round, and they'll have to probably be in a save or double save sort of situation. So that has big long-term implications, and so you always want to justify the resources given up versus the outcome you can achieve. And Edward and Kenny, yes, just playing it a battle of patience. Now Edward's going to have some help.
Exactly. Edward could just sit there all day and wait for his teammates to come in and do exactly that. Because that flashbang, where that NV through to get to that position at that time, Edward doesn't need to do anything until his teammates come in. Now NBK's been spotted, so he's got to be careful because the hunt is on. Is anyone going to survive here? The AWP's not in play, which is really important. So it looks like NBK may save one solitary weapon for the team, but I have to expect the rest of the NV players to try and eco here. Because if they just keep force buying at this point, then that may make things easier for Na'Vi again. NV are a team who are notorious for their strength in force buy rounds, but there's a time and a place.
Yeah, I really want to see the money. Hopefully we get a glimpse of it in a second.
No, Dan, we must look at the stage.
We must.
For extended periods of time.
We must do that. We have real life floaty cams as well, James.
I'm hearing smokes being deployed. One can only guess where that smoke might be there.
I think someone else has fallen asleep, James. Not just the big red button guy. But here we are, we're back into the game, and we have once again 4 players from Na'Vi towards the B plateau area and the drop area as well, as Zeus is on the outskirts towards the A side of the map, just holding down a flank, and you can see the setup here from Envyus. They have the single AK saved by MBK, and the rest of Envyus don't really have much to work with. Happy is the next most substantial player with the CZ and the Kevlar, but it's going to be a tough one. Sure, Na'Vi will be running into the stack, but if they have the right grenades and coordination, it should be fine.
Exactly. Na'Vi have left nobody over towards the A site to stop a flank, which means they're probably just going to be all the way committed to the A site here. So the question is, are they going to leave themselves enough time? They've got the Molotovs to force Kenny S off the tree position if they know that proper execute. Seems to be coming in slowly but surely, advancing the positions. I'm not sure if Apex can see Probably a one-way smoke here, but 38 seconds. I'm a bit worried there. I'm a little bit worried.
All right, we're also having the frags coming in as the players move in from Na'Vi, and it's looking like a complete slaughter of Frenchmen. Just MBK left now. He's got the AK, of course. He's been playing quite well so far in this tournament, but this is too much to ask for, and it's going to be the round for Na'Vi. They are looking great. What a resurgence from Na'Vi, and the crowd are loving it.
Yeah, there is some serious support here for Na'Vi. There's a guy who was a yellow jumper on in front of us going absolutely bananas every time they went around. So there we go. We'll have to see what the state of the Envy economy is. I think now they have a tactical pause because the clock is not... Okay, someone's crashed something. So, well, at least it gives Envy a breather. I'm not sure if they still have a tactical pause. I think they might do. But gives them a chance to just think about things, think about how they want to use their money, what kind of nades they will have, and what they want to do with said nades.
And the funny thing as well is if they lose this round, so Envyus, all the players have around $5K, and they'll be on their 4th round loss bonus. So if they lose this round, I think they're definitely force buying, because Na'Vi will already be on 14. Sure, they could save and have like a really sick buy and try to play for overtime, but it's Envyus. I really think they're just going to force buy if they lose this one. So this could be over in the next 2 rounds, I think, absolutely. Envyus, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it would have to be over in 3 rounds, I think, if the map score up there is correct at 13-11.
No, but I mean, you know, for example...
Oh, figuratively over.
No, I mean, yeah, because essentially the situation will be buy from Envyus in this round. Next round they have $2,900 left with the loss bonus, which means that this Envyus, with that much money, they're going to force buy to give themselves a chance to force buy twice and win twice, instead of just playing off of a situation where they give Na'Vi 15 rounds and play for overtime.
Well, let's see what they can do in this round. The buy has come in. They've got quite a reasonable amount of grenades. Those counter flashes will be important. And again, they're going for a main take. This is akin to Inferno. And that is going to be a problem for Na'Vi. How do they react to this? It's not every day you see this kind of hold from the CTs. Look at them. They're rotating extra players over towards the A site, currently having nobody focusing on the drop zone. And Na'Vi playing passive towards the B side. Na'Vi have time on their side for the time being, but it seems they're concentrated towards A.
Now I really love this from Envyus. They're taking a massive gamble here. They're recognizing that they're quite behind in the grenades. And instead of going aggressive like we saw them try to do by rushing Plateau, which is a very risky and almost never works, they decided to go and start. This is like almost a TSM style kind of play, where you kind of try to be a bit deceptive. You try to lure the other team into the spot where you're kind of stacking some players. And Envyus, they really are hoping this is going to pay off for them, because they are cutting a huge corner, because B is incredibly weak on the defense, and Na'Vi is starting to rotate back towards the B side of the maps. And Envyus looks like have a good read on this. They are falling back into a more default setup, but here comes the play from Na'Vi into the drop area. This is huge.
He's waiting for the repick to come in. Apex looking for the information. He found the information. Cold steel to the face will be his information. And that's the B bomb site open now. NBK's in a position to do something. No, he's going to get shut down. We've got Flamey lurking in the connected area as well. Through the wall, Kenyes will be dispatched of. So Envy have been eviscerated by the Na'Vi side here in a very important round.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if Happy saves this AK, definitely a force buy is what's happening in the next round. And Envyus are not going to have another good buy in this match. So there you go. There's the frag. Flamey finishing off. Great round from Seized and Flamey. And the question is, how are Envyus going to play the force buy? And of course, also Na'Vi are going to know that's what's coming. I'm pretty sure they're going to be prepared for that. So there's a couple ways for them to approach it. Either they play a very fast anti-force buy strategy, which is kind of like a quick set play towards the B or the A side, or they play really, really passively and try to keep themselves safe against a rush.
Deep nades flying in from the Envy side, but Na'Vi will have passive positions to begin with. Counter nades coming in, but no damage to either side yet. So Envy with 2 rifles, lots of nades. Apex has a 5.7, which is always a massive issue. We've seen time and time again how powerful Apex can be. He's really good at getting multiple kills with a 5.7 as well. Feels like he normally kills 2 people rather than just the 1. But we'll see if they can position themselves against a slow, solid execute from the Na'Vi side. The masters of the slow push.
And here they go into the drop area. MBK is going to be hearing the grenades, and he'll also hear the stepping. Nice little pop flash there. Will it be good? Doesn't need to matter, as C's will go down. C's will take MBK down anyway with a quick shot to the face. And the bomb is now making its way slowly but surely towards A long. And all this pressure is felt by Envyus, but they're not biting the bait just yet. They haven't spotted the bomb, and they're not rotating out of A. Could be a key timing for Na'Vi to go in as soon as Envy move, but they're not moving out of position on A still. They've actually got a decent setup going in here, and Na'Vi are going to have to force their way through with the flashes. In comes Edward for the first frag. Second one falling his way as well. Just Happy and Kiyoshima left now.
They've split the defense like a football game, Dan, and there they all go. The rope is tightening around the neck of Envy in the first map of this best of 3. Again, this is the pick of Envy, Na'Vi choosing Train, which will be the following map, but here we go, we're almost at the end. But again, this is a team you can never count out. Look at how the situations Envy were in versus G2 in the major, up against 3 match points, and they brought it back to take the entire series. So it's not over until it's over. And indeed, Envy will have 4 FAMASes and the Mag 7, and I think they've gone for a fast boost, or they're trying to. If the lower person's too close, then the upper person gets stuck on the ridge, which I think we may have seen some problems there. A fast peak, but no one down for either side yet. Almost a triple peak coming back in, but the CTs may just have to take the damage and move away with their tail between their legs. NBK down to 25. Kishima's taken a bit of a hit as well. Still got 2 Na'Vi players moving in towards A, and it seems they'll go for another attempt at a boost in the drop zone.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying so far for Envyus because they're running out of grenades. There's a minute left to play with. We've got 3, okay, now 2 flashes left, and there's so many nades on Na'Vi. They can easily regroup for a set play if that's the chosen strategy. You can see there's a boost in the drop area for Happy, so Happy can get a flank on potentially. Now if he gets a bit of a distraction from Kiyoshima towards the B plateau, maybe he can capitalize on a flank, but it's going to be Apex in the meantime that takes the first frag, but Kenny S goes down towards the A-long area. So now Na'Vi have an approach in, and there's a 1-on-1. Kiyoshima's going to win it towards B, and also that's going to tell them exactly what's happening. There's a flank coming in, a really huge flank from Happy with a Mag 7. He's going to find the engagement, but he can't make it happen.
That's twice now they've seen the bomb, but they're running out of numbers to do something about it. Look at the health of the NV players and most of Na'Vi. This could really go either way. Maybe 2 bullets are going to determine a number of kills here. Flashbangs coming in, but Apex gets the bomb down again. NBK taking down Edward. Zeus with 10 seconds to try and kill 2 players, and he may be aggressive here because he wants to die in the situation. Sees NBK shoulder peeking. He gets a frag onto him. And now Kishima, does he go for the frag himself? He can't really afford to. He's going for the peak. If he loses his weapon, it might be a problem for Envy going forward. He's got to opt for the save eventually. Not out of this yet are the NV side. That's 1 more round in the bag. Got to take it 1 round at a time and try and manage their economy as best they can.
And you can see that they didn't want to get into this situation where they're playing for an overtime. That's not where they wanted to land themselves, and that's again indicated by the fact that they were force buying. That means that because if they didn't do that, then essentially they are playing for overtime in the way that the rounds would work out and how many rounds they would have to give away with the saves. So now it's, as you say, it's quite a hard fight back. And if it does go to overtime, I really have no idea who it favors. No idea at all. The only thing you can really say is, the teams will stay on the side that they left off on, and that's the only real difference, and that's going to help the team that starts on the T side.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would favor Na'Vi purely because they're on the T side, and if they get a 3-0 whitewash, then again Envy are going to be in a familiar situation which they experienced in Romania, and who knows if they will be able to hold. But before they get there, they need to win a few more rounds in normal time, and I'm waiting to see what kind of money the CT side are going to have. It seems that the unpause has come in, so we will soon find out.
Yes, we shall. Now, 3 players with the bomb from Na'Vi moving towards A long. We have Kenny S to receive them, but he's not got an AWP. He's got a measly FAMAS Frenchman with a French gun, but he will back away. He is now on the run from these encroaching Na'Vi players as they get a lot of space for free here, and this setup is very committed from Envy.
See, the crossfire position has been eliminated with the Molotov, so now Na'Vi can focus on the other side. Trade's coming in. Sees almost catching Kenny with an 8 in his hand. He will get the frag. man advantage now, and Envy are all behind the choke points. They need to get there as fast as we can. MBK peaks. MBK gets absolutely wrecked. Bomb should be coming down now, as Happy and Kishima have to pretty much force the issue here, because they're in a nasty situation. There are still 2 smokes on these Na'Vi players, and with double the personnel, they will be able to put them back down again. This could hardly be worse for Envy right now.
Yeah, this is an impossible situation. They need real magic going forwards. There's the first frag from Happy. The trade comes in. There's more where that came from for Na'Vi, but still Kyoshima makes it happen. But there you go. Yorp shots will seal the deal for map 1, and it will be Na'Vi taking Cobble in this best of 3.
So not the result that people perhaps expected here on the first map. Again, Envy with a new approach, with a new in-game leader, with an approach that is not going to be necessarily expected by Na'Vi, but Na'Vi still managed to take the first map in this best of 3. Again, they took the pick of Envy. They'll be moving on to Train shortly, which will be the pick of Na'Vi. They've got a crowd behind them coming out of the booth. That's going to be a massive boost for them. You can see Guardian encouraging them a little bit, you know, more of a shy character, so he's not going to be going nuts on the stage. The crowd are running over to them as well, but they'll definitely need to go for a break, so I don't know